All right. So we're going to take a deep dive into this this video you sent over.
Okay.
Breaking down Robert Kiyosaki's wisdom from his, Rich Dad, Poor Dad series and beyond.
Okay.
It's from an Italian channel called Un po' di più.
Mm-hmm.
And, the language might be different, but the ideas are universal.
Right.
And they could really shake up how you think about money.
Yeah, it's like a personal finance boot camp.
Yeah.
Distilled into a single video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So get ready for some aha moments as we explore 9 of Kiyosaki's key lessons that might just challenge your assumptions about wealth, work, and success.
Sounds good.
One of the first things that jumped out at me was Kiyosaki's famous Cashflow Quadrant.
Yeah.
Employees, self-employed, business owners, and investors.
Mm-hmm.
What's fascinating about this is that Kiyosaki doesn't just present these as different career paths.
Right.
He dives into the mindset and the language of each quadrant.
I think he's really highlighting that each of these groups sees money and opportunity differently.
Yeah.
Like an employee might prioritize job security and benefits, while a business owner is thinking about systems and scalability.
Yeah.
And an investor, they're speaking the language of assets, cash flow, and ROR.
Right.
It's like they're operating in different financial worlds.
And that's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki suggests that if you want to be successful in any of these quadrants, you need to learn its language.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Um.
Does it feel like some people are at a disadvantage?
Yeah.
Simply because they haven't been exposed to the right financial vocabulary?
I mean, it definitely raises the question of whether financial literacy should be more widely taught.
Right.
Imagine if we equipped people from a young age to understand these different financial languages.
Yeah.
It could potentially level the playing field and open up how opportunities for everyone.
It's true. We often talk about financial intelligence, but how do we actually cultivate that?
Right.
It's more than just knowing the difference between an asset and a liability.
Yeah.
It's about shifting your perspective and seeing money where others don't.
Exactly. Kiyosaki argues that many people miss financial opportunities because they're not financially literate.
Right.
They haven't trained their minds to see those piles of money he talks about, the ones just waiting to be discovered by those who know how to look.
I love that analogy of piles of money lying around.
Yeah.
It makes me think of those hidden object games.
Right.
Where you have to carefully scan the scene to find the cleverly disguised items.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not that the opportunities aren't there, it's that we haven't developed the visual vocabulary to spot them.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
And speaking of shifting perspectives,
Okay.
one of the most impactful concepts Kiyosaki introduces is his redefinition of assets and liabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Think about your own home.
Okay.
Is it truly an asset or is it a liability in disguise?
Right. But
how does Kiyosaki's perspective challenge your assumptions?
it's mind-blowing when you first encounter that idea, right?
It is.
Suddenly, all those things we traditionally consider assets, houses, cars, maybe even fancy gadgets, take on a new meaning.
Mm-hmm.
It forces you to question, is this thing putting money in my pocket,
right,
or is it taking money out?
It's a powerful shift in thinking, and it highlights the need to be critical of conventional financial wisdom.
Now, while Kiyosaki talks a lot about the financial benefits of being a business owner, he doesn't sugarcoat the challenges.
He doesn't?
In fact, he seems to actively caution against just diving into entrepreneurship without the right mindset.
Yeah.
He even compares it to training for the Olympics.
He's got that great analogy in the video, right?
Yeah.
Becoming an entrepreneur can seem glamorous, but it takes an incredible amount of work, dedication, and resilience.
Right.
Are you prepared for the intense training, the sacrifices, the potential setbacks? Are you willing to eat, sleep, and breathe your business?
And here's where it gets really interesting for you personally.
Okay.
What are your non-negotiables? Would that entrepreneurial lifestyle even fit with the life you want to live?
Right.
It's easy to get swept up in the idea of freedom and wealth.
Yeah.
But the reality is that entrepreneurship requires a unique blend of passion, grit, and sacrifice.
He's definitely trying to dispel the myth that everyone should become an entrepreneur. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
And it's definitely not for the faint of heart.
And it's interesting how he contrasts this with the modern emphasis on job security. He argues that centuries ago, self-employment and entrepreneurship were far more common.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, we became conditioned to prioritize the steady paycheck above all else. What are your thoughts on that historical shift?
He has a point.
Yeah.
If you look back, the idea of the job as we know it is a relatively recent invention.
Right.
And he suggests that our education systems, corporate structures, and even societal norms have reinforced this prioritization of job security over financial freedom.
And it starts early, doesn't it?
It does.
From good grades to following the rules.
Yeah.
We're often taught to fit in and seek stability rather than embrace risk and innovation. Think back to those school career fairs.
Okay.
Were they pushing entrepreneurship?
No.
Or were they guiding you towards being a doctor, lawyer, engineer, in safe and stable professions?
It's true.
Yeah.
And that conditioning can have a lasting impact on how we view work and money.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki argues that this emphasis on job security can actually limit our potential and prevent us from exploring alternative paths to financial success.
So how do we break free from that conditioning and start to develop that money-spotting mindset Kiyosaki talks about?
Okay.
He makes this bold statement that you don't need money to make money. You need financial intelligence.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I think he's emphasizing that it's not about how much money you have,
Right.
but about how you think about and use money. It goes back to understanding those different financial languages we talked about earlier.
Right.
If you don't understand basic financial concepts like a stock's PE ratio, you're likely missing key pieces of the puzzle when it comes to making informed financial decisions.
He uses that PE ratio example to illustrate the point, right?
Yeah.
Imagine asking someone about the PE ratio of a stock they own.
Okay.
And they have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
It suggests a lack of understanding of basic financial principles.
Exactly. And that lack of understanding can lead to missed opportunities.
Right.
And potentially costly mistakes.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki argues that financial intelligence is the key to unlocking those piles of money.
Right.
And achieving financial freedom.
It's like we're walking around with blinders on missing those golden nuggets of opportunity.
Yeah.
Because we haven't learned the language to identify them.
Right.
And speaking of blinders, Kiyosaki isn't shy about critiquing traditional education.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He really calls out the system for churning out good employees, but not necessarily financially savvy individuals.
Yeah.
It's as though we're programmed to follow the rules, get good grades, land a secure job, but not necessarily to thrive financially.
It's like we're handed a roadmap for career success, but not for financial success.
Right.
And that leads to so many people feeling lost and confused when it comes to money.
What if we flipped the script
Yeah.
and taught kids about assets and liabilities alongside reading, writing, and arithmetic?
Right.
What if financial literacy was a core subject from a young age?
Imagine a generation equipped with the tools and knowledge to build wealth
Yeah.
and make informed financial decisions.
Yeah.
It could be a game changer.
It could potentially break the cycle of financial struggle that so many people face. Kiyosaki also dives into the often intimidating world of taxes.
Okay.
He suggests that instead of fearing the tax system, we should learn to understand it.
Right.
Especially if we want to be successful investors or entrepreneurs.
He's not advocating for anything illegal, of course.
No.
It's about understanding how the tax code works.
Right.
And using it to your advantage legally and ethically.
Yes.
Do you think most people shy away from this because it seems too complex?
It's definitely a subject that can feel overwhelming.
Right.
But Kiyosaki argues that understanding taxes is crucial for anyone who wants to build wealth. It's about being smart and strategic, not just working hard and hoping for the best.
It's about playing the game intelligently and understanding the rules.
Exactly.
Another point that struck me is Kiyosaki's perspective on fear and guilt surrounding money.
Okay.
He suggests that many people have negative associations with wealth, and that can actually hold them back.
There's a lot of societal baggage attached to money, right?
Yeah.
We hear phrases like, money is the root of all evil.
Right.
And it can create this sense of guilt or shame around wanting to be wealthy.
But Kiyosaki rejects that notion entirely.
He does.
He sees money as a tool, a neutral force that can be used for good or bad, depending on the intentions of the user.
Okay.
It's like a hammer.
Right.
You can use it to build a house or break a window.
It's a powerful way to reframe our thinking about money.
Yeah.
It takes the moral judgment out of the equation.
Right.
And encourages us to focus on our own intentions and actions.
And this ties back to his message of empowerment, doesn't it?
It does.
It's about taking control of your finances.
Yeah.
And using money as a tool to achieve your dreams and make a positive impact on the world.
Now, one thing Kiyosaki stresses is the importance of moving beyond just learning.
Okay.
And actually taking action.
Right.
He's all about putting knowledge into practice.
Yeah.
Even if it means making mistakes along the way.
He talks about overcoming analysis paralysis.
Yes.
Which so many of us struggle with.
Right.
It's that fear of failure that keeps us stuck in the research and planning phase.
Yeah.
Never actually taking the leap.
He encourages us to embrace calculated risks.
Right.
Knowing that failure is a possibility, but also a valuable learning opportunity.
It's that learn by doing mentality.
Yeah.
Which would be so powerful.
And to support that journey of learning and growth, he emphasizes the power of your network. Surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah, he believes that the people you associate with can have a huge impact on your success.
It's about seeking out mentors.
Okay.
Collaborators and friends who share your values, inspire you, and challenge you to grow.
It's like building a support system for your financial journey.
Yeah.
You need people who believe in you, offer guidance,
right,
and celebrate your wins along the way.
Speaking of celebrating wins, Kiyosaki talks about the importance of maintaining emotional neutrality, especially when it comes to financial ups and downs.
He advocates for a balanced approach.
Yes.
Not getting too high when things are going well.
Right.
And not getting too low when setbacks occur.
Yeah, it's about staying grounded and focused on your long-term goals.
It's easy to get caught up in the emotional roller coaster of money, right?
It is.
But Kiyosaki argues that emotional detachment is key to making sound financial decisions and navigating the inevitable ups and downs of the journey.
Now, one of the key themes that runs through Kiyosaki's work is the importance of continuous learning. He's a big believer in investing in your financial education and staying ahead of the curve.
What's your thoughts on that? It makes me think of that saying, the only constant is change.
Yeah.
The financial landscape is constantly evolving.
Right.
So staying informed and adaptable is crucial for long-term success.
It is.
Whether it's reading books, attending seminars, or networking with experts, there's always something new to learn.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to Kiyosaki's core message, which is to question everything and think for yourself.
He's a provocateur.
Yeah.
He wants to shake people out of their complacency and get them thinking critically about money.
Right.
He challenges us to examine our own beliefs and assumptions about wealth and success.
And that's such an important point, right?
It is.
It's not about blindly accepting everything Kiyosaki says as gospel, but about using his ideas as a springboard for your own financial journey.
Right.
What resonates with you? What challenges your existing beliefs?
It's about being an active participant in your financial education and taking ownership of your financial future.
Kiyosaki also talks a lot about setting clear financial goals.
He does.
He believes that having a vision for your financial future is crucial for staying motivated and making progress.
It's like setting out on a journey without a destination in mind.
Right.
You might wander aimlessly and never really get where you want to go. Having a clear financial vision helps you make decisions that align with your goals.
Right.
And track your progress along the way.
It's about having a roadmap for your financial journey.
Yeah.
And celebrating those milestones as you move closer to your destination.
And speaking of milestones, Kiyosaki is a big advocate for diversification, both in terms of income streams and investments.
He talks about not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
It's about spreading your risk and creating a more stable financial foundation.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on diversification, especially in today's world?
I think it's more important than ever. With economic uncertainty and volatility, having multiple income streams and a diversified investment portfolio can provide a safety net and protect you from financial shocks.
Like having a backup plan, or better yet, multiple backup plans.
Exactly.
Now, while Kiyosaki encourages risk-taking, he also emphasizes the importance of patience and discipline.
He does.
Especially when it comes to investing.
He cautions against chasing the latest hot stock or investment trend.
Right.
Instead, he advocates for a long-term, value-oriented approach to investing.
It's about focusing on assets that generate consistent cash flow and appreciate in value over time.
It's about playing the long game, not trying to get rich quick.
Right.
And this ties back to the idea of compound interest, which Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah.
It's about letting your money work for you over time, generating more and more earnings.
It's like planting a seed and patiently nurturing it, knowing that it will eventually grow into a strong and fruitful tree.
Exactly.
But getting back to Kiyosaki's more controversial ideas, he really challenges conventional thinking when it comes to home ownership.
He doesn't see buying a house as always being a good investment.
Yeah.
In fact, he argues that it can often be a liability.
Right.
especially if it doesn't generate positive cash flow.
It's a perspective that often sparks debate.
It does.
It goes against what we're often told, right?
Yes.
Buy a house, it's a great investment.
Mm-hmm.
But Kiyosaki encourages us to look beyond the emotional appeal of homeownership.
Right.
And analyze the financial implications carefully.
It's about making sure that a house fits into your overall financial strategy and doesn't become a burden that prevents you from pursuing other opportunities.
Yeah, it's about making sure that your biggest purchase, aligns with your overall financial goals.
Right.
And this leads us to another key insight from Kiyosaki.
Okay.
The importance of understanding and managing your emotions when it comes to money.
He talks about how fear and greed can cloud our judgment and lead to poor financial decisions.
Yeah.
Think about those times you might have made an impulsive purchase or investment based on emotion rather than logic.
It's so easy to get swept up in the hype, especially when everyone around you seems to be making money.
Right.
But Kiyosaki stresses the importance of staying grounded and making decisions based on sound financial principles, not emotional impulses.
It's about developing that emotional intelligence alongside financial intelligence.
And it's not just about avoiding impulsive decisions driven by fear or greed.
Right.
It's also about having the patience and discipline
Yes.
to stick to your long-term financial plan.
Kiyosaki emphasizes that true wealth is built over time, not overnight.
It's like running a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
It requires endurance, strategy,
Yeah.
and the ability to stay focused on the finish line even when things get tough.
And to navigate that marathon effectively,
Yeah.
Kiyosaki recommends having a clear financial plan in place.
He believes that everyone should have a written plan, outlining their financial goals, strategies, and timelines.
It's about having a roadmap for your financial journey.
Right.
And a system for tracking your progress.
It's about moving beyond just wishing and hoping and actually taking concrete steps towards your financial goals.
Right.
Having a plan can provide clarity, focus, and accountability.
Yeah. And while Kiyosaki encourages self-education, he also acknowledges the value of seeking professional advice when needed.
He suggests that working with financial advisors, accountants, and other experts can help you make more informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes.
Right. It's about building a team of trusted professionals who can support you on your financial journey.
It's like having a coach in your corner, someone who can guide you, offer expertise, and help you stay on track.
Now, whether you agree with all of Kiyosaki's ideas or not,
Right.
there's no denying that he's a thought leader who has sparked a global conversation about money.
He challenges us to think differently about wealth, success, and the role of money in our lives.
He encourages us to take control of our financial destinies and create the lives we truly desire.
He reminds us that financial education is an ongoing journey, a process of continuous learning and growth.
And ultimately, that's what this deep dive has been all about. Exploring new ideas, challenging our assumptions, and expanding our financial horizons.
It's about equipping ourselves with the knowledge and tools to make informed decisions and create a broader financial future.
And remember, you don't have to climb this mountain alone.
There are mentors, resources, and a whole community of like-minded individuals out there ready to support you every step of the way.
So keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.
That's it for our deep dive into Robert Kiyosaki's financial wisdom.
We hope you found it insightful and motivating.
Now it's time to take action and start building the financial future you deserve.
See you on the next deep dive.